If you've been getting around Siptah on Conan Exiles for any amount of time, you've probably come across some of these figurines. Not just a cool decoration, you can in fact gather them all up and make your way over to J4 to the pools of the Grey Ones. You can find all sorts of statues scattered all over the map, but here at the Grey Ones pools you can only find the Shagai figurine, the Chocho figurine, the Ghoul figurine, and the Kalindra, can't say that one, the big Groot giant figurine. So you do want to go farm them at a whole bunch of different places to get up a little collection of them all, and some are definitely well more worth doing than others. They also do not stack, as you can see, so they will take up a fair chunk of inventory. Pretty much all of them have the chance to drop fragments of power and the schematic fragments, which are really nice for getting up some recipes. They'll also drop a chunk of brimstone, black ice, demon blood, and raw ash, so you can gather a fair bit of that around. But different ones drop different notable items, so we'll go through some of that and what they're like as a summon. The pools themselves are protected by Grey Ones, and you can also learn some of these recipes to make the weapons themselves. They're not too hard. I have like no points in anything. They will usually attack you and they do hit really hard, so keep that in mind. You want to kill them before they kill you. They usually drop something of this variety, and you can also hack them up and get a heart of the blackened heart. I personally like this pool here, but it really does depend on where you're coming from. If you're coming from this way, you can place a bedroll fairly close by, pretty much just here, which I highly advise doing because you are likely to die, and the less far you have to run back, the better. Then I simply come here, jump down here. You can also get those boxes, but they're usually just like gold and silver. So another box here with some grey lotus seeds, dust, and flowers. Very fancy. These are just gold and silver. And then you run up here. There's usually not too many of those black ones this way either, which is quite nice. Sometimes you can aggro the one down here and the one over here, but not usually. And then you just basically got to deal with this guy. And if you come this way slightly, you can find the Great Axe recipe. I'll have a different guide to where all the different Grey One recipes are amongst here, but that one's just there. Also a couple of little boxes right at the back. Oh, maybe not at this one. Maybe it's at the other one that I'm thinking of. Oh no, over this side. They all have different boxes. Myself a little new mace if I so desired. Some of these guys are way crazier than others, so we will start with the easier ones. You likely want to have some fairly decent-ish armor, or a couple of thralls helping, or a couple of friends. You can do it at under level 60 for most of them, but things like the Kalindra one, I don't advise that because they've got laser beams and they're awfully glitchy too, and sometimes they disappear, and it's actually kind of nice to have a friend helping you see where they are. But in single player, sometimes that's just not possible because you're playing in single player. The thralls can help beat them down, but make sure they're good level because sometimes they can die too. But with the reviving of thralls, it's not such a biggie now anyway. One of the ones that I find the easiest is the Chocho figurine. They're also incredibly common. Pop them in there and it will start to summon. You can get Chocho friendship tokens off them, and sometimes they are very good ones, sometimes they're kind of meh. If you don't have any followers, it's better than nothing. And you can also get some Chocho war paint, which I don't think does anything anymore. They're nowhere near as bad as a lot of the stuff. Even with like just a dodgy weapon that you find, you can kill them. I'm going to admin kill them just for the sake of a time. You can also go around and hack them up and get your chance at getting a little bit of the essence, the lesser. Go loot all the stuff from them. You also could get a decent amount of hide too. You don't always get the schematic fragments for the recipes, but I happen to have gotten all 5 that time, so I got a remnant armor, which is a delving bench recipe. And yeah, the war paints no longer do like cool buffs or anything, but they look cool, so that's something. You can go along and open your Chochos if you want. That will activate them into an actual pet. You don't want to activate them into a pet that will expire if you're not placed, then don't do that. We got Chocho ally, Chocho ally, Chocho ally, Chocho veteran ally, and Chocho veteran ally. They're the ones that you actually want. The next easiest I'd say would probably be the Thana, although some of the people ones are pretty easy. Oh, where am I? Admin kill them. while they wander all over the shop. And you also get friendship tokens off them, plus all these other goodies, and the essence as well. You can fully clean up all of the bodies, probably pretty advisable. We are likely to get a decent amount of schematic fragments from doing these guys. The Thanar pets I don't think are quite as good as the Chochos, but I think they're a bit more of an archer variety compared to the Chochos being more of a warrior. And as you can see, we've only got 4 schematics, so it hasn't turned into an armor schematic or weapon schematic or whatever. The Chocho javelins are pretty decent, plus also free. And so far we've got 10 fragments of power. Fragments of power are super easy to farm on this map, basically just because of this little perk. One of the next easy ones is the ghoul figurine, where we can get the ghoulish humor. When put into a fluid press, we can get some fun stuff. These guys are not too hard, being ghouls. Here, you little bastard. No, don't wander away. One of the disadvantages of being in God mode. But these guys not only drop ghoulish humor, but they can drop some weapons. Every now and then the other guys can drop some weapons like these javelins and things, but these ghoulish ones are very, very nice. Highly advise doing these statues when find them. The ghoulish humor is one of the best things. A nasty yellow substance that corrodes anything it touches, which means you put bone in a squisher with it and it'll give you a lot of ichor, a lot of ichor. And that's claws, dragon bones, all sorts of things. Highly advise getting that if you like ichor in your life. Well, we got a pike of the Legion. Very nice. Got a couple of these clubs. Where'd the other guy go? I think I got them all. So if you didn't already have a decent weapon, you now will, even from just trying to kill one of them. 67 damage and 27 armor pen plus poisoned. Similar with the pike, 47 health and 9 pen and poison. The husks might be a little bit harder, but kind of pretty easy still too. Whee! I do believe you can get shot up into the... Yeah, similar situation. There's just hit a little bit harder, these guys. But it's a lot of Maelstrom beasts. And they also drop weapons, and they can drop the ghoulish humor too, I do believe. And schematic fragment. Yes, ghoulish humor. So you'll end up getting a fair few recipes from the delving bench just from doing this too. So if you haven't done a whole bunch of delving, this is a good way to get some of those recipes with a little effort of using Eltharium. From these guys, we got the Bloodied Claw, 49 damage and 9 armor pen. And I don't think we learnt another recipe yet. Oh, but we have Pirate Cuisine as well on Pike of the Legion. Yeah, you can also learn the different cooking recipes. I do believe there's about 17 statues all up. Probably the next easiest one is either going to be the Undead First Men or the Silent Legion figures. Maybe even the Shagai. The Shagai Huntress is a little bit different. Go the Silent Legion because they're a decent way to get a little bit of armor. You can also get the armor scrap from these guys and some other cool stuff. I think maybe even the Silent Legion recipes. Maybe it's just the pieces here themselves. These guys, when hacked up, won't give you the essence because they are people. But you can also get the like Tilia's Lament and Tilia's Sorrow. Oh, there we go. And I've now also got Survivalist outfit from those fragments. To be fair, they could be right up in the easiest. They're just kind of chunky with their armor sometimes. Next, we'll get the Shagai statue, where we can get the Shagai lava and the Shagai queen jelly. I think we can get from these ones too, but that might just be the Huntress. These guys are just a little bit hard to hit sometimes. It's a bit annoying. And I think when you hack them up, you also get... Oh, we got the jelly. You also get a better chance at getting a more Shagai. Yeah, there we are. There are some kind of free pets. Those. Next, we'll do the Undead First Men, where we can get Eldarium caches, which is super important in our lives on Siptah, especially if you wish to delve things. They can also drop some first man armor. I'm pretty sure these guys can. Pretty sure. Not too many of them and not too hard to take down. If you've been running around these little islands down here, you would have probably come across the first men. Ah, yes. They do drop some primitive armor. And an Eltharium cache, when opened, gave us 3 Eltharium. Better than no Eltharium. I wish it was slightly more, but still. How much did this one give us? Here's my cache. 5. Look out. The next would be the Yarkeith, in which we can get some pretty decent little weapons, especially if you don't have anything better. They're not too hard. Just these little kitty cat guys. And again, hacking them up will give you that essence. You can also get like hide off them specifically if you just use a skinning knife. We got the Yakith Spike, 47 damage and 9 armor pen, and the Hound Fang, which was 52 health damage and 18 armor pen. And so far, 34 fragments of power. We have some kind of mildly more medium ones. So we got the Migos figure. They have the chance to drop some cool biles, which are a unique item. They're kind of a kit that you can put on weapons. Specifically that guy can drop it. You can find him around the map too. He didn't drop it that time. You get that. But you can put them on weapons that don't have a buff on them, like extra bleed or sunder or anything, and they can have like extra vitality or yeah, there's a whole bunch of different vials. I'll have to make a separate video on him, I reckon. He's just kind of hard because of some of his attacks, and there's he's not too bad. He's definitely the easier of the slightly harder. And then we'd have the Shagai Huntress. She looks pretty crazy, but she's not too bad. Oh shit, there's two. They look terrifying. We got some arrows. I do believe that's their notable thing. And when we hack them up, we get unstable essence and chitin. Then either probably the Blood Defiler or the Leo figures or the Giant King. They're probably all about the same. No, Blood Defiler is probably the easiest of them. He does take knockback and stun lock, even though he has a decent amount of XP. And if he hits you, it's not great because he does a butt ton of sunder damage. You can also drop the blood sacks as well as legendary weapons. You can also drop the Deathbringer Axe and the Hunger Blades. If you're on the Exiled Lands, he'll drop different stuff, and you can find him in the Warmaker's Sanctuary. You can hack him up and get some of your essence. Some of them actually drop bigger essence as we move forward. We have the Leo statues. They can drop some pretty cool weapons and some Dragon Bone and Horn. It's a decent source of it if you haven't ventured over to this part of the island where lots of dragons reside. They can be a bit spicy and breathe you down, so don't let that happen. We can get the Leo Spike Fang, whatever it's called, 59 health and 9 penetration, much better than our Yakith Spike. And we want to hack them up and get all that goodness. If you use a meat cleaver with these guys, you're going to get a lot more stuff like Dragon Bone and Dragon Horn. The Leo Fangs are 46 damage and 18 armor pen, not quite as good as the Hound Fangs. So you win some, you lose some with that. Yeah, you definitely want to use a meat cleaver on these guys. Or a skinning knife. Next would be the Giant King, and we can actually get some Warmaker Sanctuary recipes from this guy. And the weapons. In fact, I think it's just the weapons, not the recipes. Regardless, I could get a Yog's Touch out his pocket, or a Mordelin, or any of those cool things. He's about as hard as a God King, and he'll drop a lot of demon blood and leather when hacked up. Oh, I got Crom's Hammer and a Nordis at the same time. Nice. It didn't give me any demon blood. There we are. Very little demon blood, but to be fair, I'm level 15. The next one is probably Spider of Lang, and we're definitely moving into some of the more difficult guys. But it might be that Avatar of Bugrug, to be fair. They're probably pretty even. And if you don't like spiders, you're probably not going to like this guy. It has a habit of turning invisible also, which is kind of annoying. Also has a chance to drop some pretty cool arrows, the mandibles of I can't say the words of Apultutunop. We take this out of his pocket and we hack him up, and we get some greater essence, which is much better for summoning crazy surges. Next we have the Avatar of Bugrug. He does some pretty spicy moves. I'm not showing you all how to fight them, but this would go forever and you guys need to experience a little bit of something for yourself. But at least I'm showing you whether it's worthy or not to fight them in the first place. But they do some pretty spicy moves. He obviously has a lot more HP, but will also drop some fun stuff. He can drop tablets of power, potions of lost souls, and these molten hearts, as well as blood sacks and all the other cool stuff. Molten hearts can be used like a fuel for your campfires and your furnaces instead of coal, and it burns for a really long time. We want to hack up our Bugrug. He drops multiple essence, unstable and greater. A little bit debatable which one's harder. Probably about the same as each other, really. It just depends how good you are at fighting them. They're both pretty laggy and they can both have a good go at one-shotting you. Let's do the Blood Moon Beast first. We can get some corrupted liver off the Blood Moon Beast. well, it's some other fun stuff, but yeah, they like to spawn a whole bunch of nonsense and be deathy, and having better perks when you hack them up can help getting these essences also. Yeah, we didn't get no corrupted liver out of their pocket. Yes, we did get another shining when hacking up. Shining is one of the ultimate for summoning the searchers. Now we do Kalindra, one of my least favorites because it's big, it's stompy, and it has laser beams in its toes. Well, in its mouth chest. He's pretty cool looking. Yeah, he hurts a lot. You can drop the light of Krillin, which is in his pocket, but also the flesh of Krillin, which is like a tanning bark. This improves compost heaps, helps them rot quicker, and yeah, the other one helps. I think I get that when I hack them up though. And we also got Shield of Stone Oaks. There's only about a 15% chance to get things like the light and the shields as the extra drop, but you're pretty much guaranteed to get all this other stuff. Well, not really guaranteed. We've been very lucky getting the schematic fragments, to be fair. And we got an extra fragment of power, which is also, I believe, pretty rare to get the extra one too. And we got a greater and an unstable and some wood, some mushrooms, some more insulated wood. He's randomly got sales of insulated wood. They dropped most of the flesh and the bone and the chitin and the things like that. But essentially, we ended up with all of these good things. I did drop a couple of chochos too. Decent amount of black ice, considering we haven't touched any black ice. It's not hard to get black ice here either though. Lots of free weapons, lots of free armor, which you can dismantle for more stuff. We still got a couple of spare statues because I picked them up along my way. Some of the stuff I had in my inventory already. Lots of essence. This is all just from doing one statue of each kind. So it adds up pretty quickly. If you find a favorite statue that you like to farm, I highly recommend hoarding them up and then bringing them all at once, or at least doing a decent run of it. You can bring a camel or a bearer, probably a camel because they have a lot of HP, and leave them somewhere to fill up their pockets. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you enjoy doing the Grey Ones pools, or if this is the first you've ever heard about it and you've just been placing the statues about. And also which one's your favorite if you have been doing them. I always love to do the chochos straight away just because of getting those little free beginner pets, and those other couple of beginner ones because of the chance of getting some of those weapons. The Silent Legion ones are nice too. Really don't like doing that last guy, but that's my personal opinion. He may be your favorite. If you're not sure where to find the statues, let me know and I can make a guide on where to get all of those, or hey, maybe I might just do that anyway. Or maybe not where to get all of them, but a bunch of spots where I like to go farm them, because they will respawn eventually anyway. You don't need to run the entire map, but there are definitely spots that have a lot more than others. If you found this information informative, smash that like button, and if you haven't already, consider hitting the subscribe as it means a bunch. Consider sticking around for another guide on Conan Exiles or one of the other games that I play. And until next time, I hope you have an excellent day, evening, night, morning, whatever it may be, wherever you may be. Have a good one.